What's going on, guys? The Poker Rapper here, and I'm back with the Double Water Giratina Lead Ultra League team. And I want to start today's episode off with an impression, if that's okay. So, try to guess who this is. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. Alright, give you a second to try to figure out who that is. It's Jack Nicklaus, the golfer, doing an impression of Jack Nicholson, the actor. That's why the impression's so bad. Alright, so we're jumping right into these battles. Game 1, Mikuibi. Alright, right off the rip. Horrible for us, right? A lowland muck. Super effective, quick moves. Gets that Dark Pulse pretty much as quickly as we get to a Dragon Claw. This is pretty bad. So we're going to try to do a little damage, and then we're going to try to go into that super effective Mud Shot, quick move Swampert, but instantly they switch into the perfect out for us, Venusaur. Badass clone Venusaur, in fact. And we're just going to let that get one-shotted because there's really no point in trying to try and climb uphill in that battle, right? So we do get a shield out of him, which is nice, and that Muck still has a ton of energy on it. He didn't attack with it, so that's bad news for us. Them using a shield is really the only good news for us, and the fact that we could maybe farm up a bunch of energy to get this Venusaur knocked out and then still have some for the Muck is a little bit of good news, but it's still gonna keep Frenzy planting us, and it's doing a pretty good job, actually. So, before we get that Dragon Claw off, we're going to get hit with this Dark Pulse. But we're going to block it so we can get this Dragon Claw off. Now, this is pretty important that we keep Giratina able to get at least one more off, just so maybe we can get the last shield out of them. And, alright, so now we're in an okay spot, right, depending on what their last Pokemon is. We're going to save our last shield. Empoleon's Waterfall will take this out, hopefully before it can get to the last Dark Pulse. And before it even tries to do any of that, my opponent makes a smart play by switching right into a Giratina. It doesn't let my Empoleon farm up anything, and this is pretty much the game. I mean, Empoleon versus Giratina one-on-one, it's just not going to happen. I use my shield. Honestly, it doesn't matter if I use my shield or not. They still have their shield, and it's just even shield. It's just not going to happen. So we scram out of there and start today's episode with an L. But that's okay. Maybe we could bring it back 4 in a row. Game 1. Game 2. Swampert lead. Alright, a little better for us, right? Gotta play the game now. Gotta roll the dice. We're gonna see some Earthquake, some Hydro Cannon. Let's think. Alright, let's shield it. Let's see. Alright. Cool. Worked out. Farming up in case they decide to switch out, but they don't, so we're just gonna Dragon Claw here. And they get one more off, and letting this one go through. Another Earthquake. This time we take a ton of damage, and I kind of wish we didn't hit our Dragon Claw when we did. And they use a shield anyway, so that's okay. So I'm going to farm up, and then I'm going to go into Empoleon, try to catch this Moonblast. And we do. Still does a little bit of damage, but that's great for us, right? We get the Cresselia energy off of there. And they did use a shield on that Swampert. I'm surprised that they did that, actually. Excuse me. And this Cresselia does know the Grass Knot, which is okay for us, right? Not a terrible spot. They are going to be able to knock us out if we don't use a shield here, so we are going to shield it up. Going to farm a little bit extra. Not getting too greedy. We know our limit. We know when they're going to be able to attack again. We get their last shield out of them, and now, because we farmed up a little bit with Giratina, a little bit extra, we can just come in here and take that Cresselia out. We actually get one more quick move off, so a little bit extra energy. So this is not the worst position for us. And their last Pokemon is Melmetal, and that's perfect for us, right? Because we got Swampert in the back. And a couple Hydro Cannons will take it out, and Earthquake will definitely take it out. And its Thunder Shock does absolutely nothing to us, so it really can't farm us down, farm up a bunch of energy, otherwise it's going to be hurting. So we're just going to go into Swampert right here, superpower will allow us to knock it out with Hydro Cannon, and Rock Slide is going to do very little to us. So we're just gonna Hydro Cannon, doesn't knock it out. One quick move knocks it out, and their Swampert comes back in from the very beginning, but using 2 Earthquakes, it has no energy, and Hydro Cannon's gonna be able to take it out. So, good game, good game. And we take a dub. Good game to my opponent. Game 3 against Argyle Toidle. And we see a Cloyster lead. So, can we go 4-1, being 1-1, and we see a Cloyster lead? Only, I think, if they leave that Cloyster in. And right now, they did. They left the Cloyster in. They took a Drill Peck. They do have some energy farmed up. We gotta keep that in the back of our minds. And now this Empoleon is pretty important because we need it against that Cloyster. I guess we don't necessarily like need it, but it'd be good, right? Because we could resist all of its attacks. So are we going to be able to switch out here before it gets an attack off? I tried. I promised you I tried. Couldn't do it. Got to invest the last shield right here. And we're going to go into Swampert. Swampert's actually okay at tanking the Dark Pulse. This does take about 50, but Cloyster comes back. And now this is not the worst spot for us. They could Icy Wind. Yes, it does a ton of damage. Yes, it's going to get our attack to drop, but we have Empoleon for the Cloyster. We get the Earthquake to take it out, and alright, we see a Clefable in the back, so now this is Empoleon is just even more important, but because we got their shields off of them, Hydro Cannon and Waterfall are both just going to chip this thing down super quickly. Giratina is pretty much full health, so even if this thing does take us out, and we're going to break even with it, that's fantastic. And he knows that one Dragon Claw after a couple quick moves is going to take the Muck out. So we actually pull away with that win against the Cloyster lead. Very interesting. Empoleon, shout out to Empoleon. Alright, game 4, Jirachi lead. I don't think I understand Jirachi leads at all in Ultra League. I'm sure it's good against fighting leads and has some decent matchups, but just a Steel Psychic, I don't think Jirachi's a good pick for Ultra League. I don't think Jirachi's that good in any league right now, but shout out to my opponent for trying it. I think it's cute as a button, I'll tell you that, I really do. But we're able to take it out. We each use a shield, and then this Giratina ends up having about half of its health left, so that's definitely a winning scenario for us in the lead. And we are able to switch out very quickly into Swampert, get a Hydro Cannon off, and putting a lot of quick shield pressure on them. They switch into a Heracross. I don't mind switching out against that Muck, because even if they counter, then we have Empoleon in the back for Muck, so I really don't mind. I feel like we're in a really, really good spot, winning lead and having half of our health left, and then even if we get switch locked and they have a good counter, and I wouldn't say Heracross is a good counter. If they had something that was a really good counter, then they do, but then we still have our half health Giratina and Empoleon in the back, and we just farm this Heracross down, and that Muck comes back out. We got a couple Dragon Claws ready to go, and it was really just that Jirachi in the front that kind of crippled the entire team a little bit. Just put my opponent in a pretty tough spot. So that was a pretty clear-cut win. That was a good game. And we're 3-1 trying to get this Game 5 dub. And we see a Cresselia lead. This could really go either way depending on what they have in the back. I feel like I always play this a little bit differently. I always block the first Moonblast, then I kind of let the second one go through. Sometimes I don't. It depends, right? It depends, I guess, how you're feeling. So I block the first one, as I normally do. Going for the Shadow Sneak here. We'll see how my opponent decides to play, if they're going to let it go through, or shield if they do let it go through. So this is tough. We want to be down 2 shields right off the rip, not knowing what they have in the back at all. We let the Moonblast go through. They switch into a Swampert, so we got to keep in mind that Cresselia has very little energy. And I think Giratina is okay, right, against Swampert, because Swampert against Swampert is pretty bad, right, for us if they start Hydro Cannoning and they have a shield up on us. And Empoleon could get hit by that Earthquake and they have a shield up on us. So I would have let it knock us out with the Earthquake, but he just tries to get the bait, go for Earthquake. We let it go through, and then when we switch out to Empoleon, he really goes for Earthquake, and that time we held on to the shield and made sure it was coming to good use right there. So we go back into Cresselia and we are able to farm now. Even if this is grass now, we are going to have a lot of health left and a lot of energy saved up. And we see the Pokemon in the back is Charizard. This is the ideal Pokemon for us. They just use their energy on Cresselia. They have no energy to grass, not Swampert, and we know that Hydro Cannon's going to one-shot a Charizard. So here we go. No Blast Bird, no Dragon Claw, nothing could take out Swampert. They're Switch Lock. They got no energy on Cresselia when it comes back in. That Blast Burn isn't going to do anything. And our opponent has given us the green light to pop, 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 pop. Cresselia comes back in. And we're just going to farm it up. Or farm it down. Whatever your preference is. So I feel like this episode was super quick, but that's okay. We end up coming back, getting the reverse 4 wins after taking an L at the beginning. And, yeah, this team is... It's that second water Pokemon. It's just that surprise on Christmas morning. It's just... Except the exact opposite for the opponent, right? Because they're like, alright, water... They're out of the way. Now, time to come in. It's like, oh, second water Pokemon. I like it a lot. If you guys like it, then give me a like. If you want to see more, then subscribe. And follow me on Instagram at @ThePokeRapper. And thanks so much for watching, guys. See you in the next one, baby.